Birds of Prey was amazing. DC did their thing this time. My mind has been trained to critique a movie as I watch it, and I genuinely enjoyed this one. It has so much energy, the story was told very well. It's a breakup slash girl power slash you don't need no man movie without all the babbling about women's suffrage and equal rights, and I appreciate that. Birds of Prey will keep you entertained throughout the whole movie and always has you laughing. The story. Kathy Yan was definitely influenced by Quentin Tarantino. The way the story was told screamed Quentin, but she added her own little flavor to it and executed it perfectly. The story flows right. There aren't any of the moments like, how did they get from that to that? There wasn't a moment where I was slowly dying of boredom, so thanks for that, DC. I liked the choice in setting for the last fight scene, and it was colorful, vibrant, and exciting, and that goes for the whole movie. I do have one problem. The trailer and the title of the movie makes you think Harley recruits these girls to defeat an antagonist, but they all led their own lives until they met up in the last 30 minutes of the movie. I don't know, it just seemed weird because certain characters had full backstories while others had some dialogue to tell you about their pasts. So in the end, I kind of took them for granted and I took a moment to think. Kill Bill uses the same method of storytelling. The only thing that Kill Bill did right and what Birds of Prey did wrong is Harley has a team. Black Mamba is solo. It doesn't matter if any other characters have a backstory or not because Black Mamba is the only character any of us should care about. Birds of Prey wasn't just a Harley movie, and so the actual Birds of Prey were kind of robbed, except for Huntress, but I'll explain that later. Character development. I feel like I use the word humanizes a lot, but I mean that's what this movie does for Harley. Not only that, it's her come up story. She started at rock bottom and by the end she was on top of the world. She showed a certain vulnerability that we can all relate to and makes us believe everything can get better no matter who we are. She grows, but at the same time, she doesn't. Simply because the world treats her like shit and she's going to want revenge. After all, she is a villain and the only thing she knows is crime, so she's not going to be a perfect little angel by the end of like 2 hours. I know she's a villain, but she's my hero because she breaks free from the mental prison the Joker has put her in. That's pretty powerful. She leaves an abusive relationship while kicking some ass along the way. You know how I talked about some characters not being as important as the others? Well, Black Canary's one of them. Honestly, all she was there for was to add more obstacles for Harley, but she's pretty cool. I like how she starts out as Black Mask's little songbird, but when Cassandra, who's very close to her, is put in danger, it no longer becomes about making a living and she works against Black Mask to fight for what's right. I've been playing hella Injustice too, so I'm a little upset that she didn't use her powers till the end, and when she did, it was very underwhelming. Renee is a cop that starts out trying to arrest Harley, but when Cassandra is put into danger, she joins Harley to defeat Black Mask. Nothing about her says, I'm important, but she's a nice addition, so I enjoyed her. Rosie Perez was great. Bro, I wish Huntress was my sister. Huntress has a great fucking name and a great fucking backstory. I liked how she allowed the other part of being an assassin come in, where she's kind of awkward when interacting with people, but when it comes to killing them, she's got that down. If all the characters are pieces of the movie, Cassandra is the glue that brings them all together. Harley, Renee, Black Canary, and Huntress are all interested in keeping her safe by the end. As a person, she's kind of interesting. She's a foster kid pickpocket with a foul mouth. She's as interesting as she needs to be. Ewan McGregor did a great job as Black Mask. He provided a lot of comic relief while at the same time being terrifyingly evil almost to the point of tears. Victor is Black Mask's sidekick, for lack of a better word. Black Mask is pretty evil alone, but Victor is the devil on his shoulder, the little bird chirping in his ear just making shit worse. The man is a fucking barbarian and he just doesn't give a fuck. The cinematic catastrophe that is Catwoman. The last time I watched Catwoman, I was too young to notice its really big flaws, but now I know everyone hated it and the critics had no mercy. I feel that Birds of Prey succeeds where Catwoman fails. Birds of Prey is part of the redemption of female-led DC movies that Wonder Woman started in 2017. Catwoman got a 3.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 27% on Metacritic. An article by Andrea Thompson on thespool.net calls it one of the worst films of all time. The first point Andrea makes is that Catwoman fails at being feminist. An example of this would be when Catwoman is told that her newfound persona grants her the privilege to be confident, as if women need superpowers to be confident. In Birds of Prey, there's no overt dialogue that says girl power or feminism. The movie speaks for itself, and unlike Catwoman, it doesn't need a lazy attempt at empowering women to disguise the quality of the movie. Catwoman was a humiliating shitfest. Margot Robbie wouldn't have had to do something as mortifying as smearing catnip all over her face. The simplest way to put it is, the movie was horribly directed and lacked passion. Conclusion. Honestly, the movie had me at Doja Cat, but I didn't think it would be that good. I'm looking forward to more female-led DC movies. I wish I didn't have to say that though. Well done.
And I think we wanted people to get a taste of what life could be like when you see it from Harley's point of view. And when you watch this film, that's what you're getting. It's unpredictable, and it's out of order, and it's messy, and it's funny, and it's dangerous, and it's violent, and it's absurd, and it's heartbreaking and heartwarming. It's a bit of everything, which is kind of like the character.
It really in women coming together and like doing what's right. No, this is something that is actually has a more raw attitude about it. It lives in Gotham, in the mean streets of Gotham. There is a seedy underbelly to it, and so it really, I like that edge.
I think they feel real, and raw, and they're not perfect. They drop F-bombs, they make terrible decisions, or bad choices. They are really raw in the movie, and that's what I loved about it, and that's what I really wanted to make sure came across in the film, that none of these women are perfect. They're not aspirational in that sense. Everyone, I think, has their flaws, and that, I think, is what, we all want to see on screen these days.